Does the Ielts speaking test give you jitters? Are you conscious and afraid when you enter the examination room for Ielts? Or maybe you haven't till now and you were trying to apply for the Ielts exam. Then stay with me in this lesson. My name is Michelle and I'm going to help you with some tips for the Ielts speaking test. I suggest that you first watch my video on FAQs for the Ielts speaking test. That will really give you a very clear picture of how the speaking test is conducted. Here's the link for you. It will open in a new tab. Please go ahead and watch it. And then you can come back for this video. If you don't want to, then just join me here right now. Let's look at the first criteria for the Ielts speaking test on which you will be assessed. The first criteria on which you will be assessed or marked is fluency and coherence. But what really does this mean? We are going to discuss that throughout the lesson. Here are certain things that you must be careful about while doing the speaking test. Let's look at the first point. Speak smoothly and easily. What does this really mean? It means to speak at length. Speaking at length is same as fluency. Yes, so what we are discussing today first is fluency. But what is the aim? How can you speak at length? It's not so easy, right? Your aim should be to speak naturally. The most important thing is that you do not memorize what you have to speak, because that adds some unnecessary stress to your personality, and it's quite evident for the examiner to know that you've memorized what you're speaking. So it's suggested that you speak naturally. Whatever the question is, think of the answer at that moment and answer it there and then. Let's look at how we should do that. You should build on your point of view. Don't worry, I'm giving you an example. So let's say for task 1. This question will be for task 1. But what is the task 1? So in task 1, the examiner will have a personal interview or introductory round with you. You can call it more of a personal interview where the examiner will ask you certain questions about your life. It will be based on 3 different topics. So let's say for this one, the question is, did you enjoy your childhood? How will you answer that? Yes, I enjoyed my childhood. No, then you're not being fluent. If you want to be fluent, you must speak more, which means to speak at length. And how? By building on your point of view. I'll teach you how to build on your point of view. So if you say that, yes, I enjoyed my childhood, don't stop here. Because I grew up in the countryside and next to my home there was a beautiful apple orchard, and I used to go there in the evening with my friends and we used to pluck apples, and sometimes we used to eat those juicy fresh apples, and other times we used to simply collect them for later days. This is how you can answer and build on your point of view. Try to speak at least for 10 to 20 seconds for each question in task 1. I will write it for you here. 10 to 20 seconds if you can manage. And if you cannot, then maybe at least 5 to 10 seconds if you're not very confident. Don't just go on if you're not confident. Pause so that the examiner can move to the next question. But it's suggested that you speak at good length. Let's look at what is coherence. Speak coherently. What does it mean? It means to organize ideas logically. What this means is when you're given a particular topic, you should speak only on that topic. You can talk about your other experiences, but they should be related to that topic so that it forms a united whole. Your ideas should form a united whole, complete. United whole for your ideas. And what's your aim for speaking coherently? It is that you must not go off topic. But how do we do that? You can use prompts, but in which task do you get prompts? Do you get prompts in task 1? No. If you've seen my video on FAQs, you'll know that you are given prompts for task 2. Yes, you're given a cue card. Written on it are certain prompts, or you can say bullet points. It's very important that you just don't read the topic, it's very important that you don't just read the topic and then build on it. You must use the bullet points to develop on the ideas. I'm going to give you an example for that to make it easy for you. Describe a time of the day that you like. This is the question on the cue card, this is the topic on the cue card, and the bullet points are given below it. So what all do you think you should cover in that? It's very important that you tell what time of the day it is, all right? What time? Why do you like it? And who are you with in that time of the day? Who are you spending your time with? Maybe you're alone, maybe you're out with someone. So for task 2, if you're given this topic, describe a time of the day you like. Let's say you like the evening time, somewhere between 1800 hours to 1900 hours. You like that time of the day. Why? So first you answer, what time? This time. Why do you like it? Maybe you like it because you go cycling that time. But what's so good about it? Now you're telling the activity. But why is it that you like that time? Because that time rejuvenates you or re-energizes you. So you can use these words as well. And who are you with? So you can say that I go cycling with a bunch of friends in the evening, and that's why it's so much fun. And you can elaborate on this by building on your point of view. So don't think of these as two different things. You should join them when you're speaking. You should be fluent and you should be coherent. Now we are going to look at another thing that you should do when you're in the speaking test. Now let's look at the third thing that you must do in the Ielts speaking test for getting a good mark on fluency and coherence. And that is to use cohesive devices. Let's look here. But what really are cohesive devices? So like I told you, coherence is a very important thing for unity in your text, in your spoken text. The same way cohesive devices connect your text, as in whatever you're speaking, connect your spoken text. So let's look at these. To use linkers or connectors or discourse markers, for example, yes, for example is a connector. And is also a connector. But, and so on. But what's your aim? Your aim is appropriate signposting, which means that you have to use the connectors at the right place and not the wrong place. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you how you're going to do that with a nice example here. Let's look at this example of excessive TV watching. That's the topic you've got. Which task do you think you can use it in? We can use it for task 3. Yes, you got it right. And what is task 3? Task 3 is an analytical discussion with the examiner where you discuss about a topic in detail. So what are all the things, what are all the aspects of a topic that you discuss? You discuss, first of all, you introduce the topic, all right? Then you give reasons for it. After that, you tell its effects here, and then you conclude the topic. And the most important thing is that you always give a personal example. Yes, this is the most important thing for this task 3. please make sure that you cover these. So, let me give you an example for the same topic, excessive TV watching. How do you start it? First, we'll introduce this topic by saying that nowadays, these days, TV watching has become an addiction. So, you're talking about the past using nowadays or these days. However, now you're comparing. However, in the past, now you're talking about the past, or you could say, however, when I was younger, not everybody had a television. So we are talking about the present, past, and comparing using different linkers like however, these days, nowadays, and when I was younger. Let's look at the next one, reasons. You give reasons. So you could say that the major reason for this is, I think the major cause for this is, you can use one of these. What do you think is the cause for excessive TV watching? I think it is because of the popularity of TV characters and increasing number of TV channels. So you could say when you're using and, you're adding information. So you can use add for and for adding information. Let's look at the next one, effects. You could say this has led to, this is a linker or the starter that you can use. This has led to eyesight problems, obesity, and other health issues. You can conclude it with a personal example saying that, I must tell you what has happened with me. My cousin only watches cartoons, he will never study. You could also say, for instance, or my personal example is. This is how you can elaborate on task 3. Some important things that you should never do in the Ielts speaking test for the first criteria, and that is do not memorize, sound natural, overcome hesitation, which is very important, avoid self-correction, do not correct yourself because that affects your fluency, and do not overuse the connectors, use them in the correct place. And for the second point that we did, do not go off topic. I hope this lesson was really helpful and that we did not go off topic anywhere. I hope to see you again in the second criteria for the Ielts speaking test. For other videos, look at my series for the Ielts speaking test and do subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of the videos. This is Michelle signing off. Bye.